Hello my friends and welcome back. It's The Troop. It's episode 2. I just want you all to know that I have done the tutorials and I have done the whole process of reading the manual, which is not very long. It's like 3 or 4 sides of A4. And I don't really think that I have missed anything particularly important about the game. If anything, reading the manual and doing the tutorials have actually just made me feel like the game's very heavily RNG, and that perhaps this game has been selected because people want to see how I react to the RNG in the game. But anyway, let us carry on with this campaign. We shall give it another bash. So I think the way forward is to take some tanks. And I took this infantry platoon last time because it had a Piat team in it. And 6-pounders are pretty strong and would allow me to run more infantry. But they can't move. They have a serious mobility problem. Okay, the first time we played this, we encountered just boatloads of tanks, so we'll go with this and see how it turns out.
Receiving. Yes, sir. Receiving. Yes, sir.
So one thing I did learn that is useful
Yes, sir.
is
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
the LOS tool is like the R key. And it's quite useful for
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
determining where you can shoot from any particular position. So you can see that from here, these tanks can actually hit that road up there. They can't see it, but they can hit it. Last time, enemy tanks poured down that road.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hang on. It's a bit fiddly. Okay. So if I arrange these tanks here to interdict this road at first, and the infantry here to watch this area, and then once I'm certain that this section of area is clear, I can then sweep the tanks around. That's the general plan. Looks like I cannot move any of this infantry any more than I have. So that's fine.
Yes,
one thing
sir.
I did learn from the manual
Yes, sir.
is opening your hatch
Yes, sir.
gives you 25, instead of 25% more aim per turn for aiming at a tile, it gives 35. But moving at full speed causes your ability to be hit to be reduced by 50% if you spend the whole turn moving. So even if you're aiming perfectly and someone drives right into it, you can still miss. And they can then immediately turn around on their turn and shoot you with potentially fatal results. Like, on a relatively high chance, so... So I want to say, by the way, like, setting aside the gameplay, because, you know, I haven't really settled into it yet, the music is like 60 seconds on loop that drives you absolutely bonkers after a while. And,
moving out. Yes, sir. On our way. Yes, sir. On our way.
There's very little in the way of voices.
On the move. Yes, sir. On the move.
It's a bit weak, in my opinion. The graphics are reasonable. For sure. But, like,
yes, sir.
Not highly impressed by the presentation. Whoa, really? Huh. You can reveal an enemy by just aiming a tile? That's crazy.
Yes, sir.
So if you shoot, your unit is revealed, so there's no reason for me to reveal my unit. Wow, that is so bizarre.
Receiving.
So you can just sweep tiles by aiming at them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Receiving.
I don't know how I feel about that. That seems a very strange way to detect somebody.
Enemy armor spotted.
What is that about?
Yes, sir.
That is
Yes,
messed
sir.
up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On our way. On our way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On our way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna rotate it and then shoot it and then rotate it back.
Receiving. On the move. Reporting. Moving out. Yes, sir. On our way. Yes, sir. On our way. Receiving. On the move. Yes,
Come
sir.
on, guys, you got places to be.
On the move.
And places to be is in that forest.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he just drove through the book cage.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Why can't you aim at that directly?
Yes,
I don't
sir.
understand. He can. When you're not
Yes,
in the
sir.
way.
On our way. On our way. Yes, sir.
40% chance to hit.
That one's done some damage. Yes, sir. Receiving. On the move. Reporting. Moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On our way. Receiving. On the move. Yes, sir. On the move. Yes, sir. On our way.
How can I apply more damage to the guy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On the move. On the move.
Yeah, minimal chance to hit. So it's not like you can just do a staggered shot type affair.
Yes, sir. On the move. On the move.
Man, he's just driving around without a care in the world.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine. They want to be sideways in the road, I can deal with that.
sir. On our way. Yes, sir. On the move.
Okay, so in theory they can't see either of these. So, a good tactic in a normal game would be to just drive out onto the road on your turn and shoot straight down the road. The guns are facing forward, so if I point the tank forward, it should be perfectly pre-aimed.
Receiving. On the move. Reporting. Moving out. Yes, sir. On our way. Yes, sir. Receiving. Yes, sir.
Okay, they're all hidden.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, this guy is watching this road for me, so I can see a flank if it turns up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On the move. Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, come on, he couldn't be more exposed than he is right there. Both of them are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On the move.
This couldn't be a cleaner ambush. 30%. 30% chance to hit on the ambush.
Yes, sir. On our way.
The way the hexes work here.
On our way.
8% chance to hit. I mean, what else is there for me to do? I gotta take the shot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's see if they turn around and come this way. See, I reckon he'll just rotate and blast me. Now, following the tutorial, if he rotates all that, that will probably cost him about 30 or 40% accuracy to rotate and aim. And his accuracy will be reduced because both of these tanks moved very heavily, which means that there's another like 40%. But it's still like a solid 20 to 30% chance that he just kills me. And I mean, it's crazy to me that you can drive down the street very obviously, show your side, be pointed the wrong way, and now I reckon he'll just potentially just rotate and destroy one of these tanks.
Yes, sir.
I only have a 30% chance to hit that guy with my Piat.
Yes, sir.
Can't see my infantry just yet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, come on,
Yes, sir.
game. Use the tool.
Yes, sir.
Oh my god, that is annoying. You have to be like about there to actually get a shot. Which is quite a bit forward. What is that? Smoke? Okay, I'm not sure how he has a shot from there, but he does. There are like 6 of these things.
Yes, sir.
Alright, you didn't move. 75% chance to hit.
Got him. That's how you do it.
Still, 75%. That wasn't a certain thing. He sat there. He didn't even move or try to evade, and it was still only a 75% chance.
Yes, sir.
Oh my god, my chance to hit with this Piat is non-existent.
Yes, sir.
Accurate aim. His hatch is open. His hatch is open. Can you just pop a grenade in there? Please.
Receiving. Receiving.
Or is that tank destroyed? Is stunned, but not destroyed.
Receiving.
Why can't you throw a grenade in there?
Receiving. Yes, sir. Receiving. Receiving.
I do not know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But the ambush is tripped.
Yes, sir.
30% is 30%, I guess. It's the shot I have.
Yes, sir. Receiving. Reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Didn't these guys have a clean shot on me? Someone took a shot at me. Was it this guy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can hit there.
On the move. Yes, sir. On our way. Yes, sir.
Let's go. Tactical advance to battle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
can't
sir.
push forward
Yes,
because
sir. Yes, sir.
the front one shot, and this road, despite this road being 2 tanks wide, they cannot drive past each
Yes,
other
sir.
because of the way the hexes are done on the road.
Yes, sir.
The road kind of needed to be wider in the game. So, not much I can do about that. Here comes the retaliation. And there goes the Piat team. Poor Piat team. Okay, that was it. I was expecting more damage.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I might as well.
Receiving. Reporting. Yes, sir.
Boop.
Yes, sir. Receiving.
Okay, those grenades are pretty effective at completely short range.
Receiving. On the move. Yes, sir. On our way.
Move back 1 tile.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, that was a clean kill.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, aim. Aim like here. You know, that guy might actually... No, he won't have a shot yet.
Yes, sir.
But maybe I should rotate towards him in case he is about to get a shot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On the move. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Run! Okay. You get nothing.
Receiving. Reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so... You can hit from there. And from there.
Yes, sir. On the move.
Advance. Rotate.
On the move.
Aim.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wait, that's not a shot. Seems to indicate that you have a shot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Line of sight to... Look, same here. Ah, no, it actually has to be highlighted.
Yes, sir. On the move. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On our way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, aim at him. 19% chance to
Yes,
hit.
sir.
I don't know if he sees me or not. Because if he sees me, I might as well shoot.
Yes, sir.
But I don't think he sees me.
On our way. Receiving. On the move. Yes, sir. On our way.
I don't think you're necessarily revealed forever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Receiving. Reporting. Yes, sir.
Okay. So if this guy comes this way, because he can't drive through that, then my tanks will intercept him. Meanwhile, these two are intercepting this one. So barring some insane RNG, I should be able to take out 2 more tanks. Oh great, he sees me, doesn't he? Insta-jibbed!
Guns out of action. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, I have a 99% chance to hit him now.
That one's done some damage. Yes, sir.
I should protect myself with some smoke while I make repairs.
Yes, sir. On the move.
Reverse 1 tile.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I need to be there or there to hit. And he can also
Yes, sir.
hit me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On the move. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On our way. On our way. Receiving.
I'll use this tank to start blasting at these. I'll use this tank to engage this one.
Yes, sir. Receiving.
Infantry can just continue to hide in the forest. I don't like all the one-shots in this. It's all just a little bit insane. Gambling on chances,
Yes, sir.
basically.
Yes, sir.
100%. Bet it bounces off.
Got him. That's how you do it.
Okay, it's fine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Repair.
Enemy knocked out.
It seems the enemy have had enough and are retreating to fight another day. I was hoping they'd show a little more backbone, to be honest.
Okay. I don't know, man. That was an extremely clean win from me, and yet it just felt like completely out of my control. But anyway, job done. So, I'm just wondering now, I'm just going to look at the next mission. We're not going to play it, obviously. Okay, the tank's fully recovered. It doesn't look like... so the infantry sections don't recover. But... the tanks do. It's a little bit unfortunate. If, you know, you can lose units and the unit becomes cheaper, why not let people toggle, you know, say I want this, but I don't want, say, the mortars or, like, the infantry groups or whatever. Can I just, like, you know, let me toggle stuff on and off to actually adjust the pricing? I mean, if you can do it anyway because there are bits missing, then I don't see why you would not be allowed to do that. We have no idea what's going to be in the next mission. So, we just have to guess. I could just take more tanks here. That wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. I've got these teeny tiny infantry groups. Let's take this because it gives me an HQ actually for cheap. Funnily enough, now that there's 2 bits missing. And I think the sniper team also counts as an HQ. I don't know what the hell they expect you to do with these half tracks. Oh man, it's 160. What if I like late deployed something? Like the mortars. Oh, we'll just take another infantry section. What the hell? Okay. I'm going to say that this is it for now. It's a new map, and with a new map comes new challenges. Take 5 objectives. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And you have, like, not great angling here. Stuff all the way over here. Wait, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you need to hold 2 to prevent a loss. Okay, alright. Anyway, I'll stare at the map between episodes. I don't know if I can even save here. Nope.
Receiving.
Okay. Okay. What does the mission brief say? Seize the bridge. Alright, that's it for now. I don't know. I'm cautiously reserved about this game because I think, even though I just won very cleanly, the game feels very RNG to me. I can see how it can go wrong everywhere with just a little bit of bad luck. Especially when your good ambush or whatever might have like a 60% chance to hit in the opening volley. And then, potentially, depending on the way the enemy's angled, they can then shoot you back at more or less equivalent chance to hit and annihilate you. Like, unless they are literally facing the wrong direction. Because you lose chance to hit with rotation. So if you had to like turn 180 degrees, you'd probably lose like 80 or 90% of your chance to hit. So, but a typical ambush is not going to get the back of somebody. It usually gets the side. And the side is only like a 45 degree rotation. And so they only lose about 40% of their accuracy from my understanding of what's written in the manual in the game. And that means a 60% chance of blowing your ass to pieces in one shot. See, this is why games have hit points. This is why Battletech is not a game of luck. Because you have a lot of hit points and a lot of weapons. And so it very much smooths out the RNG over time. You have to get a lot of very, very tiny percent chance RNG things to go wrong for RNG to be the reason why your strategy fell apart. But in this game, I mean, you can ambush somebody, miss, and they can turn around and just insta-kill you. Not on like a tiny chance, but on a pretty solidly high chance. And if you lose a couple of tanks, you're done. So, in terms of morale and in terms of firepower, you're done. So, I don't know how I feel about this, but it reminds me a lot of Headquarters, World War II, which is a game that we make at Slytherin. Just much more indie. But I felt, personally, as a turn-based gamer, I felt like Headquarters also had this issue, which I didn't enjoy, of the RNG element. being quite decisive. And in that game, most units have about like 5 HP, and hits do about 3 to 4 damage, depending on what the hits are. So it's not instant death, it's a couple of hits. But it can be instant death. And even then I felt like it was too you know, imagine Battle Sector, except the only place you could hit somebody is in the head, right? That's kind of what it feels like. Anyway, I'm done ranting for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.